Good night, good night, good night. Blessings. And welcome back to another episode of the All Over It podcast, where we uncovering it all. Welcome back to another episode today, June 15th, 2026, episode 59. Your first investment starts here. Yeah, blessings. Welcome to another week, another episode of All Over It podcast. As you know, we staying consistent. Blessings and love. Yeah. So let me know who they are. Okay, good. My boy Richard in the place. Let me know. You here for it? Okay, good. Big up yourself one time, my brother. Yeah. So yeah, like I say, today we here. We back with it. Okay, good. Okay, good. Bye. Devon in the place too. Yeah, man. Big up. Shout out my brothers. Them. My boys them in place. Yeah. And anybody who they are watching, gotta send out some love to my loving mother one time. Check. Yeah. Blessings. Blessings to you. Appreciate you for joining. And as you know, I come here with value for you. Of course. So, last week we talked about IPOs and the stock market and investing and SpaceX. Anybody who ain't new to this podcast would know that those ain't new talks to this podcast. Stock market and investing and those things, those ain't a new topic. But SpaceX was the talk of the tongue last week. Well, for weeks, for maybe months now. And yeah, man, they perform, After that episode I had last week too, the responses was really good. A lot of people reach out and afterwards was asking questions, and that made me realize something. A lot of people interested in investing, but many people don't know where to start. They want to start, but most people don't actually know how to begin. So a lot of times people ain't always lacking interest, they just lacking access, or let me say lack of information. So yeah, today I'm going to dive into these things. First, I'm going to talk about the SpaceX IPO that went down Friday. I got to touch on it. I touched on it last week, and I got to give you an update. I have to. I must. It is imperative that I give you an update about how things went with SpaceX and what happened between last week to now. But yeah, today for sure, you're going to get an idea of what is a brokerage account. Give some examples of different platforms and companies that you could use to invest. And I'm going to make sure specify on ones that work in here and say Martin. You check. So yeah, you're going to get to see what is what. And I even going to show a little demonstration on how to use it, how it look to actually execute. Check. Yeah. Because what? We in our season of execution, right? Yeah. We, not me. We. Okay, good. So, yeah, like I say, today that's what we're diving into. We're going to talk about how to invest. That's why the episode name, Your First Investment Starts Here. Yeah, right here. Check. All of us always coming to you with knowledge. We always all over it and we uncovering it all. So that's what you want to know. That's what you're going to know today. So like I say, SpaceX IPO. Let me start there. I can share my screen there quick. Tell you a second. Screen share, blah, 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 blah. Got it. Add to stage. So, yeah, just say and open it up here so you could see, all kind of news about this thing. All kind of news. What you want to hear? SpaceX just made history and a lot of money. Yeah. SpaceX Falcon. Okay, no, that ain't about the IPO. SpaceX value driven by share market. Yeah, all these people have talks. But yeah, this is what I wanted to show you really. SpaceX IPO raises 10 billion more than expected. Good. That's one. That's from BBC. SpaceX stock jumps as the company reveals its IPO has raised another 10.7 billion. SpaceX raises 85.7 billion as underwriters exercise. Blah, blah, blah. Check. So I just wanted to show you these, like, yeah, money get make from SpaceX. You check. SpaceX stock gains 10% as it begins first full day of trading. That's today. Yeah, I come into all of that too. But just know, you're doing good. I had a friend of mine too. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, you know what? Let me go in auto. Good. So SpaceX, Elon Musk becomes the world's first trillionaire. SpaceX IPO makes Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire. SpaceX share sales boost Musk's net worth to 1.1 trillion, a stake worth roughly. Yeah. So Elon Musk become first trillionaire after SpaceX IPO. They got videos about it. They got articles. SpaceX soars in debut and makes Musk the first trillionaire. Yeah. Look, it's all over. I had seen it all over Instagram and yeah. Big things happen. But now, this is one story I wanted to share with you because I saw it on one of the platforms that I follow, and I find it was a very nice story. So, one of the SpaceX welders, so the guy who does video welding the spaceships and all these things, so kind of the lower level job within the company. Okay, you're working on spaceships, so you're going to get paid more than somebody who just welding a car, let me say like that. But still, lowest level job. But after the IPO, former SpaceX welder becomes a millionaire after historic IPO. Before Juan Hernandez became a welder at SpaceX, he had never heard of the company. As he said, it was just another contract job for me at the time. Check. But that job gave him opportunity. Yes, it's a job, but basically all what he do is while he was working there, every month when the company pay you, they would probably, because you could either do it yourself or they would automatically take out a portion, like similar to how they take out taxes and insurances and so on. In some companies, they do like stock buyback, meaning they'll buy stocks from a portion of your salary. So, long story short, while he was working there, he end up buying SpaceX stock, whether he do it himself or, like I say, some companies have it like an automatic occurrence every month when you get your salary. But yeah, long story short, this farmer SpaceX welder becomes a millionaire after the IPO launches. So money get made. People out there making money. Yeah. money getting made. You check? So, like I say, this SpaceX IPO, the launch was crazy. So last week around this time, I was here talking about it. I came on and I share with you, my viewers, like, hey, SpaceX IPO coming. I explain about it. I show articles just like what I did just now. I even explain, I gave some insight and some detail to the IPO that's coming. Even share some personal, let me say, I share some personal reasons why this is something that was, let me say, that resonated deeply with me. And yeah, long story short, last week I was here talking about it. And I expressed that, yeah, Friday last week, which was June 12th, was the IPO. And just know, Friday was a big day in the market. Yeah. The market reacted well, reacted strongly, a strong positive reaction to SpaceX IPO, and they had a lot of speculation. They had a lot of people saying, like, yeah, they think it's just hype, and yeah, they think it's just like, it too over talked about, over speculation and all these type things. But yeah, they deliver. For me now, like I expressed to you, it was personal. You know, for me, this wasn't just about SpaceX. This one felt different. This one, like I said, this one was more than just about SpaceX for me. How I see it slash saw it in my podcast episode 4, if I'm not mistaken. No, 5. Sorry. I spoke about telecommunication setbacks, overcoming telecommunication setbacks. And in that 2-part episode, I spoke about our local internet service providers and I compare them to Starlink. So around then is when I had just get Starlink and I talk about the difference. I literally showed speed tests differences. I honestly, bottom line, I explain and express the experience I used to have when I was using our local service provider compared to when I get Starlink. I express that I love the service I get from Starlink. I'll know we on Starlink. Yeah. And I express straight up, I don't think I would be able to do this podcast and keep consistent like how I have been if it wasn't for Starlink. You check. So from since then last year, I said if if the Starlink company, let me say, which is SpaceX, was to go public, I have to get into that because of, I would say, the sentimental value or the perceived value, let me use that term in this instance, behind the company. You check? And let me say this here. I am of the opinion, and I am not the only one, that that's how you invest. You invest based on things you know. You invest based on companies that you know, things that you already deal with in your day-to-day life. You know, anywhere you go on the internet and you start to like educate yourself about investing and trading and things, they'll always tell you, put your money somewhere that you know. Don't just go, and a lot of people, they want to get into investing and what they do, they go ask their friend who already trading or who already investing, like, yeah, what they should do, what stocks they should invest in, and so on. But that's not a way how to do it. You put your money where you feel comfortable. And how you could feel comfortable, you get to know these companies. So easiest way is to start investing in companies you already know. So if you know you somebody who don't wear Crocs all the time, you buying Crocs all the time, why not invest your money in Crocs? Like I said last week, if you know you somebody who does buy Coca-Cola all the time, you know, every day you drinking Coke, why not invest in some shares in that company? Because you know, basically, simply put, once you invest in once you invest your money there and now you buy in that product, it's beneficial to you because the more that company make, the better your investment doing. You check, the stock price gonna go up. That means the value of your shares, the value of what you put in, going to also increase. You check. So the best thing to do is invest in things you know. So if you're a musician and you know about, let me say, production software, or you know about a specific company that does do like music, you know, you resonate more towards that industry, you know. And that's why, like last week I showed a heat map, I'm going to show it again now, but that's why they have, let me say, the market set up how it is. They have different industries and different sectors so that you could get into what feels more comfortable for you. Get into what you know. If you're somebody who out there in the field mining gold, then for sure you're going to resonate more to the gold and commodities, stocks and shares. If you're somebody who's an IT guy like myself, you're going to probably resonate more towards the tech sector and the tech stocks. You check. See, like Clem say, makes sense. You check. Big up my boy Clem one time, you know, Lion Wolf in the place. Yeah, shout out. Shout out my boy David one time too. I always tell you, me and David certified, just in case you don't know. Check. Yeah, blessings to my boys one time. But I just had to share that because, like I say, for me, from last year or from I started using Starlink, I tell myself, by look, this is a company I would invest my money in. The check. So when I saw that the opportunity came, because I said from last year, by if SpaceX or if the Starlink company was to go public, if I was to be able, given the opportunity to buy shares in that company, I would. And bottom line, I like to be a man of my word. You check? Last year I say, if it was going to go public, I would buy shares. This year, I did. You check? So God bless. God bless. But yeah, for sure I could tell you the market reacted heavily to that IPO. They had people that, like I say, was naysayers, was doubtful, was checking, nah, that ain't gonna do good. You know? Yeah, that bad time to come in the market and all these things, like literally. So let me show you. Let me show you. I had a friend of mine who, okay, I'll pull this one up. I posted this image last week. I posted it on my social media and my story. You know, basically just an image of the share where it was the stock price at that time. So this was Friday. So this screenshot was taken Friday, shortly after the IPO. So this stock IPO'd at $135. So 135. That was the initial price. When it launched, that's the price it started at. And shortly after, it bounced up and went to 170 something. So like I say, at the time of this screenshot, this was during the day Friday. So the stock IPO'd on Friday. Don't ask me the exact time, but it IPO Friday during the afternoon, maybe around 2 o'clock. I took this screenshot, which it was up. So like you see, $36 plus from where it started. Like I said, it started 135 plus 36, that's 171. So at the time when I took this screenshot, it was 171. Good. So later in this episode, I'm going to show you exactly where it is now, because today it went crazy again. But anyways, that ain't the point. Point is, it had naysayers and people checking like, bye. You know, after I take this screenshot, like let me say later down in the day, a friend of mine sent me a message checking like, yeah, you know, checking and looking shaky, checking by, he hope it keep going up, you know, like he hope it do good because, you know, she bounced up to 160 something and she was staying there, which granted, true. Last week, after I take this screenshot, she maybe went, you know, she's sticking a 172 range. And then she had went down, and for the whole weekend, she was at like 160 something, you know, just ranging around there, 166, 168. Good. Today was a different story, but it makes sense. It launched on Friday. In fact, let me close this. It launched on Friday, which was the end of the week, the end of the trading week, the end of the financial market week, because the market closes during the weekend, most markets. So it launched Friday, it had a big boom, it kind of settled a little bit, and now Monday, first day back open, she just boom. Like I keep saying, look, my belief is this stock, this company is going to blast off just like the rocket ships they does send into space. You check? It names SpaceX. So I believe, me, Oliver, I have faith and I believe in that company. I believe they're going to go up. Just like Tesla, just like significant other companies that IPO and had, you know, good traction, good attention around it and thing. I even showed an example of Meta last week when I spoke about IPOs. You check? But yeah, bottom line, SpaceX doing good. I'm gonna show you where it is. Don't worry. I'm going to still show you where it is right now. Don't feel like all of us forget you, but we're doing everything in order. Just like how the market filling the orders. Yeah, we're doing everything in order. Okay, good. Big up yourself. You check? So, but like I said, to kind of wrap up this segment, SpaceX do really good. Like I say, they had the IPO launch, and I show you some articles about how well they did. They people were saying by they make as much as they had expect they were going to make, and biggest IPO valuation in the world, and blah blah blah, and history, and so on. And like I said, they had naysayers, but for sure, Friday the market react well. The market check it, yeah, this is what we've been waiting for. And you know, the media cover it, like I say, the media gonna be, you know, some sides when say yeah, they for it, some sides and say they against it, but for sure the investors was excited about it. This one here surely was. This man right here, Oliver, We out. I was ready for it. Like I say, I've been waiting for this since last year. So when they say they coming with it, I was ready. So personally, let me give you my personal story or experience regarding SpaceX IPO. Honest to you, from I was seeing that, yeah, it coming, I saw the data, checking, okay, cool. Even before my episode last week, I done had like a pre-order done in. You check? So God bless, I was able to allocate some funds, in my brokerage account, in my stock investment account, let me say. I had some buying power. I had some money there that I could have say, okay, I could allocate towards doing this. So as I say, I submitted my order before the launch. So even before last week, Monday, I had done submit my order. I had to basically tie up 162, so how it worked, like I say, the expected IPO price was 135, but on my broker, they decided to, let me say, tie up 20% more than the actual IPO price. So they tie up 160 something. And long story short, when Friday come, I just had to wait and see. It's just like people when they trying to buy, the new shoe or the new iPhone that coming out and thing, you might get a pre-order, so you put down your money before, and when the day come, your money, your portion done secure. Yeah, yeah. So that's how it was for me. You check? I had already put in my pre-order, so when the day come, just like the new GTA 6, for some people, that was done organized, that done was order, so it just shit. Check. So long story short, when Friday came, I successfully received my allocation. I get exactly one share at 135. Some people they get in at 160 something, and me, I get in at IPO. Soon it hit market, we get in. Bam. We ain't waste no time. You check? Yeah. You know what you call that? Automation. That's an automated follow through. Yeah. So my money done put up from before. So when that day come, everything just pam, fall in line. Bam. All I do, I went on my brokerage account and I check in. Yeah, I got some shares and she up. So when I take that screenshot, I show you, that was after when I went on and I check. And I check in like, wow, okay, good. She gone through. I get my share. And last thing I had checked was, like I say, I allocated a little extra. That's how the brokerage account had operate with the IPO. And I just wanted to verify that the rest of my money went back into my account, which it did. I confirmed, they check in, yeah, the funds that ain't get used and get allocated back into your buying power, into your, account. And I do my calculation and I check in, okay, we're good, it's right. So we good. We in that. And I feel good. I successfully received my allocation. Like I say, for me, this was more about just, trying to be with the whole herd and trying to get this SpaceX because I know it's gonna go crazy. For me, it was more personal. For me, I say I'm gonna do it and I do it. You check? I say from last year, if it gotta happen, I gonna be in that. And it happened and I in that. I like to be a man of my word, man. You check? So straight up. So yeah, today I gonna share with you how you could get in the market. You check? Now, like I say, again, still pull up the heat map, show you how the heat map looked this week compared to last week. So anybody who was here last week, I see the difference. Trust me, I see it and I check in. Yeah, different. Good, type different. But anyways, pull up the heat map. I'm also going to show you where SpaceX stock is right now. Matter of fact, maybe I'll do that now one time before I get into all that other stuff. Cool. Even more than it was earlier when I had checked it out. So yeah. So let me share screen. SpaceX stock right now is at 199. Yeah. Right off of 200. Like, look. So you see, I tell her, I ain't no financial advisor. I ain't them big people on Wall Street and in Charles Schwab and so on. So I ain't here trying to give you financial advice and trying to be a financial advisor, But I just showing you, Oliver got some sense in his head. He got a little wisdom and he know what he doing. You check. So I ain't trying to be a financial advisor, but I showing you what going on. And as you could see, this thing moving up. So if you had follow Oliver lead and say, you know what, I feel Oliver, let me try get into this IPO and see if I could get some allocation of SpaceX shares and stocks. No matter where you had get in on Friday, your money would be up right now. So even if you had get in at like 160, let me say 166, maybe you won't get in on the IPO when it just launched, but you get in when she had rise up a little bit. Even if it was at 166, your money would be up $33 right now. You check? And as you could see, the market closing, but she's still moving. As you can see, it say after hours. Underneath here, this, so you see it's two green. The one on top is today, where it make today while the market was open. And then this one at the bottom is after hours. This is how much it went up since the market closed. So it's still moving. Good. But I just wanted to show you this before I get into all other things. Like I show you, it start at 135. Last week, Friday, when I take that screenshot, matter of fact, let me pull up the screenshot again. 177. So you see, last week, it was up already at 177. Right now, as we speaking, it's at 199 and change. It's fluctuating. You see, just now it was 199.39. Now it's 49. Just now I saw it was like 62 as well. So she fluctuating. By tomorrow, she's 200 plus. Good. So money making. If you had invest your money in this Friday, by today, Monday, you would have have interest on your money. Your money would have grown since when you put it last week. Good. That's that's why I want to show you. That's why I want to explain to you. This is what investing is about. You allocate your money places where it's going to grow. Places where it's going to make sense. It's just like you check in, why you got some money, you want to make some passive income, or you want to invest it somewhere that is going to increase. Some people might tell themselves, okay, let me build an apartment, because they know that's a good investment. Once they finish building that apartment, that's money generating every month. Maybe if you're doing Airbnb, it might even be every day. Good. But that's an asset, for sure. You're going to get return on your investment. You're going to get increase. Your money ain't going to decrease. Your money going to increase. You check? That's what it's all about. You check? So one thing I could say, I had a conversation that inspired me to do this episode this week. Like I said, and really do like a kind of walkthrough of what a brokerage account is. Some brokers even show you, sign up. Good. And then I'm literally going to show you how to execute a trade, or an investment, both. But anyways, I could say I was inspired to do this by a friend of mine, Basically, like I say, when I shared that screenshot, he reached out to me and he check in like, yeah, you don't tell nobody nothing. You invest in this thing, you don't even leave nobody know. Like, yeah, by this thing coming up, you should check into it. You should look into it. And I check in like, my response was, but bro, my entire podcast episode the other day, earlier in the week, was all about this. You check? If you had checked my podcast episode from earlier in the week, this was last week, you would have known what going on. You'd have all the info. I'd have show you, break it down for yourself. You check? But I'll say I used that as a moment of exactly. You see, look. My Michael, I'm checking facts. What are you talking about? That would make me laugh. Like, but yeah, like I say, like at the end of the day, how I look at it, I use that as a moment of realization for me, because how I look at it, the issue wasn't really about the IPO and sharing the information and whatnot. The real issue is a lot of people just don't know where to start, They don't know what platform to use. They don't even know what a broker is, so they don't know how the process works. So I say, you know what? Let me do this episode really breaking it down, showing you, you check, and explaining you what going on and what really it is. Because like I say, I do my financial literacy series and I cover these things. Some of the things I can share with you now, I shared in my financial literacy series. And I always just recommend anybody interested in investing and getting into financial markets or just financial literacy period, go check out my financial literacy series. I cover everything, literally, like all aspects of investing, whether it's real estate, whether it's the stock market, like we're talking about now, whether it's finance. I mean, yeah, we financial. I'm still talking about finances, even down to life insurance. I have an episode with Clem and Shanita. So just in case you don't know, just in case you didn't know, how the partner say, what you know, if you didn't know, now you know. Okay, good. Now you know. If you didn't know, check out my financial literacy series. You're going to get information and everything. Literally, if you're somebody that want to invest, but you don't know where to invest your money, I literally cover all the different avenues that you could, so maybe you're checking by a stock market thing, that's too risky for me. I can't get into that. It look nice now. And the money that making look good, but my heart can't take it. So then maybe you might rather real estate, or maybe you might say, you know what, let me start up a business, or better yet, buy an established business. All that topics covered. Anyways, today, I'm going to dive deeper. Because that's what we just do here. We just uncover it all on this podcast. So right now, I'm telling you, so if you know anybody that want this information, call them now. Tell them, look, check out All Over It podcast. Share this with them. Like I tell you, like I always tell you, tell a friend to tell a friend. Now is the time for them to come on and learn what they've been waiting to learn. Good. So I give you that lead up. I give you that transition. Good. So we getting into this now. Call them up. They still got a couple seconds to get on. Good. Call them. I'm telling you, call them. Good. But yeah, we getting into this now. You're going to learn what is a broker account, what is a broker, period, and how to get yourself into the market. Sell. Check. So I just wanted to bring this up to show you she passed 199, she passed 200. So this, look, if you ain't got your money in SpaceX, money making without you, yeah, people making money, people becoming millionaires and billionaires off of this thing here. Okay, good. They ain't losing me in the back. I ain't getting left. Good. So I trying to pull you with me. I'm trying to share with you the info so you could know what to do, so you could get yourself on that train too, so that train ain't missing you. But what? If the train miss you, that ain't nothing now. If this train you miss, that ain't nothing. Trust me, they got a lot of opportunity in the market. You check? So maybe this might not be the one for you, and trust me, you probably still could get into this and still make money. You check? You could probably buy into it right now at 201, 202, and it still bounce up to like 250, 300, 400. Higher. I don't even know now. I self been checking, like, I want to buy more, but I don't want to mess up my average, because then, like I say, I get in at like 135. And if I buy in now, especially at 200, my average gonna go up significantly. And then especially because now more, like I probably gonna buy more than what I buy initially at the 135, my average gonna increase for sure. So I've been studying like, look, she just hit 202. Anyway, to show you how excited. Maybe I could just come on and do episodes just like this one. Like I ain't even gotta talk about no topic. Just pull up a chart and show you how the money moving. Show you like, yo, these things moving, these things going up. You check. Anyways. Let me get out of this market excitement quick. You check. So let me start with the heat map. Anybody who was here last week could attest that this looking more green than it was last week. You check? I ain't gonna lie, I could have probably literally pull up the last week episode and pull up the point where I had showed the heat map and show how we were looking. But yeah, still, this look more green than last week. Yeah, it still got some gray, it still got some red in between in the small tiles and thing. But I'd say this looking more green overall. But bottom line, today was a green day in the market. Like, matter of fact, no man, I have to share that. I gotta show you that. How I could get out. Let me see what I get. Let me see what I get here. But yeah, so like I say, I'm giving you some time now to go and call a friend, call a lifeline, call somebody and tell them, bye, look, yeah, man, that is it. That is it. Come on this thing. Tell them, call them. Anyways, this is what I wanted to show you. Let me add to screen. Bam. So I want to pull up this post. Good. Okay, good. You buy Trump hugging the money. Okay, good. Just in, 1 trillion has been added to the US market in the first 12 minutes of trading day today. So bottom line, like I say, Friday gone was the IPO. A lot of people had a lot to say. Millionaires was made from since Friday. You buy Elon Musk become a trillionaire within minutes. And today, Monday, 4th day back in the market, $1 trillion went back in the market. That means people that had people that had money on the side, checking they in the market today. They buy in, they invest in, they buying out things, buy and hold or just trading, whatever it is, people get into the market today. $1 trillion get added. Good. It say the S&P 500 jumps 1.49% at open markets. At open, sorry. So that meaning 9:30 this morning. Well, for them, soon as opening bell hit, it jump up 1.54, basically almost 1.5%. As soon as the bell ring, bam, opening bell, market up. And like I tell you from last week, the S&P 500 is a good way to see how the market is doing overall. You check? Because it consists of like 500 different companies over the various different industries and sectors of the market. So using that, does be a good gauge of how the overall market is looking. Good. So that's why you hear a lot of people talking about the S&P 500. They have other indexes, but this one is a good one. Good to follow. Yeah. So like I say, jump almost 1.5% at open. The markets are opening for the first time since the US-Iran peace deal was announced. And then this one make me laugh. This image here, yo, if you don't laugh when you see this, something wrong. But anyways, as the article reads, the US stocks explode higher today, June 15, 2026, as markets reopen for the first time since the landmark US-Iran peace deal announcement. In the first 12 minutes of trading, roughly 1 trillion was added to US market capitalization, with the S&P going up, like I say, about 1.5 right at the open. The breakthrough agreement, mediated with help from Pakistan and Qatar, includes an immediate ceasefire and the reopening of the critical Strait of Hormuz to oil traffic. Good. So if you ain't hear it nowhere else, you hear it here first. If you ain't been following the news in the US and you've been hearing about the war going on in Iran and thing, but maybe you don't hear what going on, good. They had a peace agreement that was made, and basically they have now a ceasefire, and which this makes sense because what a lot of people don't know, like I was talking about the oil last week. Last week I showed the US oil chart, and I talk about how that chart in itself is what affecting our gas price. And then because of that, the prices are everything else, because everything else need gas to operate. Like for them to bring your package, they need gas to fill the tanker to bring the boat, to buy everything. The costs will go up because gas. You check, everything run on gasoline. So once gasoline go up, everything going up. Good. So that's why this was important, because like I say, the critical reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, but I hope I am. So basically that was one of the critical places where, the oil tankers used to pass for us to get oil. Okay, let me get my buy off the screen now, because you're going a little too wild. Yeah, so that was one of the places that oil used to pass for, like, for it to be distributed throughout the world globally. And due to the situation they had between Iran, they had a block through that, like, canal. And like I say, now that they reached to a peace deal agreement, market gone crazy. And look, I just peep game. All this time, this Iran thing been going on. Now exactly when SpaceX IPO. You buy Trump checking, okay, deal could sign out. Deal get signed, market gone crazy. Why? Yo, they don't know what they're doing now. Because at the end of the day, think of it simply like this. I would believe you buy Trump got skin in that game for sure. So it's in his benefit for sure. But yeah, anyways, like I say, that's why this looking green. Because what? Today, market been up. I tell you, up. Good. So, like I say, that was a little segue, I know. But don't worry, what we're going to touch on, we're going to take too long to really get into it. So, I'll start overall, big picture, and kind of, hone in. So, a broker, they have brokerage accounts, and a broker is the company who have the account. They have brokers in general, and then they got brokers when it comes to the financial market. Good. So, let me show you here now. A broker in general is an individual or a company that acts as a middleman. You check? And what they does do, they just facilitate transactions and negotiate contracts between a buyer and a seller. So, like I say, a middleman. Basically, normally they just earn a little commission or they just charge a little fee, or they maybe mark up the price so that they could get a little change for their services. Good. So that's what a broker is in general. When it comes to the financial and stock market, a broker is someone who connects individual investors to the stock market. Meaning, me, I am an individual investor. You are an individual investor. We are what they consider retail investors. Meaning, we ain't one of those big hedge firms. We ain't one of those big financial institutions that got millions and billions and, So, normally, let me say an individual, any regular day person like me or you, if we want to invest, we need a broker. We need to use a brokerage company. So like it says, we need a brokerage company in order to invest in the stock market. So connects individual investors to the stock market, executing buy and sell orders for stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Basically, you can access these markets via discount brokerage platforms like Charles Schwab. I always talking about Charles Schwab here. You know that. My long-term viewers know. They talk about Charles Schwab or Fidelity. One I can talk about too is Robinhood. That's another big one, like a newer one compared to these, but they're doing good things. And yeah, so like I say, they have different type of broker, real estate broker. So somebody who does facilitate the buying and selling or renting of properties. So kind of like a real estate agent would kind of be like a broker because they facilitating these things. Insurance broker, So like Clem and Shanita, you check, there's insurance broker. There's somebody who, if you want insurance, life insurance, different type of insurance, they represent the buyer to shop. So the insurance broker does represent the buyer and help them with shopping around for different insurance companies or different type of insurance options, and they find one that's more suitable for that person rather than representing a single insurance provider. Well, that's for the insurance broker. But yeah, so they have different types of business broker, all type of different brokers. You check, so that's what a broker is in general. Now, what is a brokerage account? So, a brokerage account is an investment account that allows you to buy and sell a variety of investments. For instance, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, anything. Whether you're setting aside money for the future or you're saving up for a big purchase, you can use your funds however and whenever you want. Good. And I want to specify on this part, like how they say, you can use your funds whenever and however you want. That is key, because even like with Charles Schwab, I remember they have an advertisement that I see when I watching the Charles Schwab Network live on YouTube. I talk about that already, but they have a advertisement where they talk about, opening a brokerage account with Charles Schwab is easy. You could open it in seconds, and they check in like your brokerage account and your savings account, like your check-ins and savings, like your normal bank account, like basically working hand in hand, like basically they connected. So what they say is moving funds from your check-ins to your broker account is easy, and it's available in your brokerage account in seconds, because why? They have everything connected. They have it all in one, meaning you don't have to go somewhere else to do your banking and then to another company or find somewhere else to do your investing. You could investing and banking and saving all in one platform, all under one roof. You check, similar to my uncle, big up Uncle Josias one time. We did the dividends episode during the financial literacy series. So I interviewed him when we spoke about dividends, But one thing I can never forget is, even before us doing that episode, he informed me that for him in Canada, with his TD Bank app platform, it has like an investing section, so similar to what I just say, everything is done under one roof, so they have the TD Bank app, and just like how you do online banking, they have like a investing tab, so like a page for investing, whereas you could literally, like I say, do your investing right there within the same application. You check. So tend to say like for me, I got my banking on one app and one platform, but then now when I want to go do my investing, I gotta like maybe send money to another account, or send money this way and transfer for it to reach to my brokerage account, and then now go in my brokerage account separately on a different platform and do whatever I want to do. You check. Like I say, like this thing say, you can use your funds whenever and however you want. But I just say this to say like the limitations that we face here. So here in St. Martin, we are limited to a certain extent, because certain of the bank institutions, the financial bank institution, they actually, I'll say, restrict or try to deter people from investing, in a sense of like, they have had times for me in the past that when I, let me say, try to send some money to my broker or to my brokerage account, I would get flagged by the account, by the bank. So then when I would contact them and try to get the transaction to pass, they'll inform me like, yeah, well, because I'm doing a stock buy, because it's investing in stock market, they'll say, yeah, their company policy, the bank's policy is to flag those transactions and to restrict those transactions because it's risky, and basically saying they don't want you to lose your money. So instead of like allowing you to send the money and lose it, they rather restrict you from sending it so that you could safeguard your money. Cool. Now I understand, to a certain extent it makes sense, but if you want to do something, let me say the best thing to do, if you want to do something but you don't know how to do it, you find it risky, you educate yourself. You mitigate the risk by getting to understand how it works, so you could understand what's going on, you understand the processes and the procedure. So now it's less risky for you because now you know how it works and you know the game. You check? You know what levers to pull for it to work. So you know, like, okay, yeah, it might be risky, but there is risk in everything. And as a friend of mine that say, take risk and prosper. You check? So I don't agree with that sentiment that, yeah, they're going to flag and restrict certain transactions to deter people from investing, because basically you're just trying to keep people on. You know, in a sense of like, you don't want people to have ownership. You don't want people to elevate themselves and grow and build themselves. You check? So you rather keep them down, keep them just in a circle, keep them in a circumstance that they just gotta make the salary, spend it, maybe try invest in other things like apartments, like I say, or maybe find some type of good investment opportunity. But yeah, is a tough thing, because granted, in the past, a lot of people get scammed too. So all of that is why they have like a heightened level of security around these things. You know, like people experience it already. So they check in, they want to experience it again, you know. But still, like I say, they have ways to they have ways around these things. They have ways to circumvent the risk. They have ways to make yourself feel comfortable with where you're putting your money, and you don't gotta worry about that a risky thing. Cause look, like how I talk about SpaceX, like how I talk about how that IPO come out and I invest in it. A lot of investors would have said, buy that, they are risky, buy that, they are buy, no, buy, I ain't put my money there, buy, no, buy, you don't know what will happen, buy, it might pop up and drop down. Look, even somebody say just like Dogecoin was a flop, you check? But all of that is part of the game, you check? They got ways to mitigate the risk. You know, that's why traders got stop loss and take profit and all these different tools so you could mitigate the risk. You check? That's why you do things in a smart way. You don't, let me say, like, if you checking you want to invest in SpaceX, but you feel it risky, you feel it might go south. Like how the old people say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. You check? You put some of your money there, so you know you got some money elsewhere that you know for sure making money. And that's what the smart people will do. Diversify their portfolio, think everything in one thing. You check? Anyways, I digress to say that here in St. Martin, it is difficult for us to get into investing, but it's not impossible. It is not. Look, I'm a good example. Look, I right here in St. Martin and I trade in, I invest in, I doing all these things, and I ain't the only one. You check? Yes, I used to live in the US, so let me say certain platforms I use and certain things I have access to is different from what, let me say, locally we have access to. But still, you check? I doing it, and I ain't the only one. They have other people that also doing it. You check? So don't feel like by in St. Martin they don't allow investing, or you know, you can't invest in St. Martin because the bank blocking it and this and that. People making a way. When there's a will, there's a way. And trust me, I just find a way. I just move with intention, you know, and determination, you know. Once I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, you know. I am man of my word, like I said, that's why I got SpaceX stock right now. Because once I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You check? Maybe a lot of people ain't accustomed to that no more. A lot of people don't stand on the word no more. But a real man, that was a real man to do. He say he going to do something, he going to do it. You check? So one thing I could tell you, when there is a will, there's a way. And for us in St. Martin, although, let me say this, the deck stacked against us in the sense of like it ain't as easy for us to invest as it is for other people. Like I show you, like look, I bring up that Schwab network, that Schwab website again. Literally, they explain you what a brokerage account, and then right here, you could open an account. You could click this button and it will bring you to a page that you could just fill up a form, start the application process to open your account. You check? But that's proper business. That's people doing things properly. People servicing their customers in the right way. You check? So like I say, although we do have limitations and restrictions here in St. Martin, there is ways around it, So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you some brokerage accounts and brokers that do work here locally in St. Martin. You check? But like I say, they have ways around these things. It's just about finding your way, finding the way that working. You check? So instead of just feeling like, everything is all lost and you can't get in because the bank fighting against you, like I tell you, I've been there, you don't even know. I've been bouncing from bank to bank because I start with one, start sending, then they come say, okay, they block it now, new policy, things change, they can't send no more to those type of accounts. Then now you start with another process or workflow, and then same thing, you start with another bank, same thing. So it's just about pivoting now. That's life now. You check? You just gotta find a way. Like maybe you might set out on this journey, but then life try to shift you. You just gotta know how to shift and make sure you reach back on that same route to reach to your finish line. Like that's the bottom line, So I understand that sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't always money. Sometimes it's access. But like I say, even that, we could find a way. Even for those here in St. Martin, there is a way. Like I say, for those elsewhere, maybe in the States, maybe in Canada, it's easier because, like I say, within your bank app, you could literally just go and invest right there. You check? So it's easier to manage too because you just go right in your banking app and you see what's going on one time. But like I say, it's not all lost for us here outside of those regions. We have opportunity as well too. And like I say, some people might feel like everything is our loss, but it's just to find a way. And once you find your way, tackle it, execute, check. So like I say, I can touch on some of these brokers. So let me bring up this screen back now and show you this. I don't want it in my face. So interactive brokers. I say this is the first one I'm gonna show because this for sure is a platform I know works here in St. Martin. Meaning you can sign up and register on this platform using your St. Martin credentials. You check? Because now, one thing I want people to understand too, a brokerage account is basically a bank account for investing. And just like a bank account, when you open in a bank account, the bank does require certain documents and things just to verify your identity, make sure, you let me say have a job or you have a way to supply or supplement the account. You got some money to put in it when you open it, these different things. So it's the same concept. When you open in a brokerage account, they're going to ask you certain information. They're going to ask you for certain documents and identity verification and these things. Why? Because they just want to make sure it's you, because it's just like a bank account. These things is like linked to your, like in the States, to your social security and to your, to you, linked to you as a person, an individual. You check. So that's why these things is like that. But like I say, Interactive Brokers is one platform that I know for a fact works in St. Martin. I sign up on it. I just use it. I even have, a few individuals that when they express to me that they interested in investing, I expressed to them this platform and they did sign up and they went through the process, the identity verification, all of that. Now, the good thing about Interactive Brokers is it's a full brokerage platform. So it allows you to do both trading and investing, which is two different things, So I can touch on that a little bit just now too. But bottom line, it has like, let me just say everything. Not everything, but a wealth of things under the financial investing umbrella. Check. So Interactive Brokers is a good platform. It's been around a while. They've been doing the thing, and like I say, I use it. I find it a good platform. SpaceX up. Anyways, I find it a good platform and very informative. For some people, it might be like a lot because it does have a lot of information, but they have like good like knowledge base as well too. So like help centers and so like let me say if you want to understand something better, you could always just check in support. They have the frequently asked questions and different resources to help you get through these things. But like I say, I touched on this already, and in my financial literacy series, if you go back to it, you're going to get literally information on all these things I'm going to touch on now. These different brokers. So another broker that does work here in St. Martin, which I guess they're promoting the World Cup. But IC Markets, which I didn't even see the name prominent nowhere. They just have IC official trading partner with Guillermo Ochoa. Excuse you, Guillermo. Big things with you, sir. All over the people trading platform. So yeah, this one is IC Markets. IC Markets. This one here is strictly trading. So this one is not for investing and buying and holding. This one is for strictly trading. But like I say, this works in St. Martin. Like literally both Interactive Brokers, IC Markets. These is two platforms that I personally can confirm. If you living in St. Martin, you can sign up for these platforms using your St. Martin credential, whether your passport or whatever. Good. So like I say, you just have to do identity verification and all these things. So you just need, your documents. But once you do your verification, you go to go. So basically, signing up for these platforms is simple. Like I say, you come on a website, you click open account, you click start application. So this is Interactive Brokers, and I'm gonna tell you what all you need. So you create your sign-in information, so your username and password, you give your email, username, your password, you confirm that. Then I can't really do it because if I type in my email here, you can just tell me, yeah, I already have an account. So when you click create account, so like you see, it has St. Martin, the French part, but just to show you, okay, yeah, St. Martin, Dutch part. So you see SINTMAARTEN. So for anybody who in St. Martin, you see for a fact here, at least for initially, the first step our country showing up in a list, because we know that doesn't normally happen. You check normally when you go on a website, say Martin nowhere in the list. You check. So that they has done a 1+ they get. One check. But yeah, like I say, once you create your username, your password, you confirm it. So usually they'll send an email confirmation, and then you'll complete your application by filling in different information like your, let me say, occupation, like general ballpark of your annual income, so your how much you make annually. So it's simple. You just consider, okay, how much money it is make in salary every month and multiply it by 12. So they'd ask different information, like those things, like how much, like if you got dependents, if you have a spouse, if you have children, these different information, like I said, that would be necessary for even when you open a bank account. So bottom line, as it says here, under for individual, you'll need your personal and contact details, income and tax information, your trading experience and objectives. So meaning they're going to ask you questions like, yeah, if you ever invested before, if you ever traded before, if, what's your objective, like what you're trying to get out of starting this account, whether you want to save for retirement or you just want to, have a savings account on the side or, whatever it is. And then, yeah, funding details. So meaning like how much money you're going to be putting into the account, how often you think you're going to be funding this account, meaning how often you think you're going to put money in this account, and those type of things. You check. So, like I say, it's as simple as coming on a website, Interactive Brokers, clicking open account on the right side on your computer, click start application, or if you want, before you do that, you could click what you need. So then it'll give you an explanation, or they have another option in guide to choosing the right account, because like I was showing earlier, Interactive Brokers have different types of accounts. So choose the best type of account for you. And they have individual accounts. So if it's just you, a joint account or a trust account. So meaning if it's a joint account with maybe you and your spouse, or maybe you have a joint account with you and your child, like a custodial account, that would be here. Or even trust accounts, like let me mention that too. So maybe if your family has a trust, like a trust fund, a trust that was put together, and the trust account have brokerage account, because that would be part of your trust, like investing, that would fall under here to a joint or trust account. Then they have retirement accounts. Like I say, maybe you're checking, you want open account for retirement, so you want to start investing now for your retirement, or maybe you're a non-professional advisor, or maybe you're an institution. So like I say, you're a bank or a company that you're checking, yeah, you was one of those people that are making money, and you're not just an individual, you want an institutional account, you could do that too. And then, yeah, like I say, when you decide what type of account, when you have all the documents and information you need, you start the application, you fill out the information, and you're good to go. Same for Interactive Brokers. So if you don't have one, you click open an account, and like I say, this is for live trading. This is different, but I can explain the difference just now. And yeah, you just fill in the information, your information. Like I say, this one come up, you see St. Martin come right up. You could put in your name, your number, and you see it have Curacao, but of course you could change that to St. Martin. And you just go through the steps, similar information they can ask you, like, like your identity, and they can ask you like about your financial status, like how much money you're bringing in, how much funds you think you could invest in this account, and all those type of questions. But once you go through the application process, you verify your account, your email and all of that, you have an account. You check just like that. So, like I say, that's what is a broker, what is a brokerage account, and I show you some brokers, like brokerage platforms that you could use to invest locally here in St. Martin. Apart from that, I always talk about Charles Schwab. That is another great one that you could use in the US and so on. Another one I just use that I was using even when I was living in the US is Robinhood. Like I mentioned earlier, like we was on Robinhood when I was showing you SpaceX where it stands right now, which I'm gonna show you again now. But just know she up again since where it was. Anyways, bottom line, in regards to the brokerage accounts and so on, like I said, they have different ones: Robinhood, Charles Schwab, Webull, different trading platforms. But bottom line, not all platforms are available everywhere, especially for Caribbean residents. But although we have restrictions, there are ones that are available to us. Even like a good example here locally, they had RWIB, which was a local brokerage company. Whereas, basically you could go there, give them money, and they open a brokerage account for you, and you could get access to the stock market locally through them. So that was good because then you have a local counterpart that you could go to if anything, if need be. But with all these platforms, they got customer service you could call or whatever. So if that's a limitation, yeah. But even on that point, when talking to a friend of mine this week, they expressed to me that there is one specific bank on St. Martin that does allow for you to do investing through their platform, so like it's one under one umbrella, similar to like how I see the other countries have it. So apparently I heard recently this, I have to still verify this information and check it out myself. But somebody tell me that with one of the banks on St. Martin, you can go and invest through them, so they have like an investing section within their banking platform. Good. But yeah, like I say, sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't the money, but sometimes it's the access. You check? So, like I say, I will be showing you an example of trade and an example of buying a stock, But before I get into that, I just want to explain you the difference between investing and trading quickly, because it's a very important differentiation. A lot of people, they see people making money and they don't know the difference. They see people, let me say, maybe posting about them trading, but they thinking by they investing, or they see people talking about investing and they thinking like, yeah, they making all this money trading. But it's two different things. It's still within the same umbrella, under the same umbrella of like financial investing through the stock market and so, but is like let me say like minor differences, little nuances, So to say simply, trading is a more short term and active undertaking. You know, you frequently have to make decisions because now you gotta check on your trades. You gotta decide whether you want to execute a trade or close a trade, or you know, you gotta be checking on it to make sure it's doing what you want it to do, meaning going in your direction and not going against you. And long story short, frequent decision making based on it. You gotta be checking on it, checking news, checking this, checking that. Now, investing is a more long term, a more long term side of things. You know, when you're investing, you're more looking at ownership of things and wealth building. You know, so let me say an example. I'll use myself as an example. I've been investing in dividend paying ETFs, meaning like companies that pay dividends. But now that's an investment because that's for long term. That's wealth building. That's like long term. But now that's ownership. I own shares in these companies. When you're trading, it's like you're in and out, you know, like double dutch, you know, like a double dutch game. Like you gotta time it, you gotta time when you're on jump in, and then you want to try jump out quick before you hit the rope, and then you know you lose. Is similar to that, you know. You check. So like I said, or maybe even on the river on the bank is like you might jump in, but then you jump out. You jump in and then you jump out, you know? But now investing different. Investing is like, okay, you tell yourself, by I believe in this company. I like what they're doing. I believe in, let me say, the fundamentals of the company. So let me say the finances, the financial statements, whether balance sheets or whatever, you know, just long story short, you believe in the company. You believe in what they're doing and how they're doing it. And you checking, you know what? You willing to put your money in that company to help them grow, but also putting your money in that company, knowing that they're going to grow, will also grow the money that you put in the company. So simply put, if you like a company, you checking, you're going to put $1,000 in that company, but you know that that company going to grow. So maybe when you invest your 1,000, the stock price was $10, or let me say maybe $100, just not be outrageous. You know, but then you know for a fact that it's going to go up. So you checking, you investing in that company because you believe in them, you believe in their mission and what they're doing. But now you also know for a fact that because you invest in that company, you're going to see return on your investment. You're going to see increase and not decrease. Because yes, maybe sometimes it might go down, you know, things might happen in a company and it might start out at 100, but then it go down to 90 something or 80 something. All of that is part of it. You're going to go down, you're going to come back up. You know, once the company doing what you got to do. But like at the end of the day, you invest in a company with hopes that you're gonna go up. So, like I say, you put in your $1,000 when it's at 100, and maybe a month or 6 months later, it gone up because maybe the company do something good, or they just increase their revenue by selling more products. So now the share price gone from 100 to 120. So now your $1,000 is now $1,200. If you want, you could take out your $200, but most people they're gonna leave it, keep growing, leave it, keep growing. So, like I say, like how I'll use my personal example, like how I've been investing in QILD, dividend investing. My idea with that is, okay, I believe in a company. I believe they're going to see longevity. They ain't gonna shut down no time soon, so I don't mind putting my money there. And the added benefit I have with that is I do believe the share price itself going to increase. But apart from that, every month they're paying me money just for having the share. So can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. You check? So basically the position building over time, even if I don't put money in it, it's still growing because I just got it buying back. You check, I just got it when they pay me the dividends, they just buy back more shares with it. So me ain't getting the money. So don't feel like, yeah, all about, yeah, I'm making so much money. That money ain't going in my hand. That money ain't going in my pocket. I ain't spending none of it. All that money that getting made from them dividends going right back into the company. Good. But that's the difference between investing, that is investing and trading. So to give you a simple like layman example, trading is like creating income, whereas investing is trying to build wealth. So you trade so you could make some money, whereas investing is when you have money and you're checking you want to save, or like save for retirement, or that type of mentality. You want that in your later years you have something to fall back on, you have a nest egg, you have some type of something that you could rely on when the time comes and you reach to that state. You check. So like I say, that's the difference. Trading is more like trying to create income, whereas investing is building wealth. So investors, they have money, so they check in, like, let me say a simple example. You somebody that maybe you making money, or you already have your career and you have a decent salary, so you checking, you want to invest your money every month. You want to allocate a portion of your money to wealth generation, so generating wealth so that when you retire, when you decide you want to stop working, you have something to fall back on. That's investing. Whereas trading is like you're checking, okay, it's like you're trying to make the money, so let me say the traders is the people who out there trying to make the money so they could invest. So like that's their job. That's their 9 to 5. They go, they get the money out the market, just like how you maybe have your job and you getting your money from doing your 9 to 5 job of whatever task it is you completing. The traders, that's their job. They in the market, getting their money out the market. That's how they eating. That's how they putting food on the table. You check? Trading. They are getting it out the market. So just like how investors getting millions by investing, and let me say like SpaceX, you invest your money in SpaceX, maybe invest 100,000 and now it gone up double. So your 100,000 is now 200,000, or even your $100 now $200, your $1,000 now $2,000. That's investing. But like I say, trading is short term. You're just trying to make a quick buck so you could eat, or let me say maybe some people trade so they could invest, meaning they trade to make money to put into their portfolio, to buy more shares, to give themselves a little more safety down the road, but it's all up to you. But like I say, trading really tries to create income, whereas investing tries to create wealth. You check. So let me bring up this and just kind of show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, I wanted to show you this just now, which I could still show you. You can see right now it's at 206 SpaceX. So I'll bring it back up again, not to show you. I'll show you a couple times throughout this episode. Right now it's at 206 and change. A few minutes ago when I was talking, it was at 210. I can't get it to like recheck back. But yeah, it was at 210 just now. I checking, wash, gone crazy, man. When we started this episode, it was 199. Anyways, that to show you these things moving. So even if you somebody that checking you on just scalp and get a little something out of it, you know, like you could do that. You could be somebody who say, you know what, you're gonna buy in at 177, and now that I reach 206 or 209 or whatever, you sell it and take your profit, and then when it drop back down, you buy back in, and then when it go up, you sell again. You know, so all of that is trading, but yeah, we are talking about investing. So basically, if I want to, I could buy more shares right here. You check? I could just, you see it saying I could choose buy what I want to buy, or choose different type of order types. They have an option of whether I want to buy in dollars or buy in shares. So now I'm going to choose dollar amount, and then I choose my dollar amount, and it'll tell you. So let me say if I say I want 100 more shares, it can tell you how much estimated quantity. So it tell you 100 shares because it right now 205. $100 in shares going to be 0.48. You check? So if I say I want 200 shares, $200 worth, you see 0.97. And then I could review my order and go through. So like I say, this here now is the Robinhood, and this is more investing. So like I say, I'm going to demonstrate self. So for me, like I say, I've been buying QYLD shares steadily. So if I was you and I check in like buy, you know what? I done got some shares of QYLD. I have a good bit. You see my average is 17.15. So that means I in the green. Good. But yeah, like I say, if I check in, you know what? I ain't buy my shares of QYLD for this month. I could just come in here, say, I want to buy some, choose whether I want to do dollar or share amount. Say, you know what, okay, it'll show you how much money you got in your buying power. Like I say, I got like $96. So I can just do 20. I buy one share, $20, which it tell me that's about 1.09, so almost 1.1. And I could review the order. It come up, it tell me the order summary. So remember, it's nighttime now, so the market closed. So what it would do, it would take my order, and then when the market open, it'll execute it. So check. So I could still complete this order. So you are placing an order to buy approximately $20 of QYLD based on the latest market price of 18.21, like you see right here. You will receive approximately 1.09829 shares. Your order will be queued for market open and processed at the best available price. Check. So what they're saying is just like what I just tell you. Because I say I want to show you, I want to demonstrate to you what it look like to buy, to invest. You check. So like I show you how it is to open your account. Maybe I walk you through step by step the application process, but it's a straightforward application process. I gave you an example and show you example, basically what you'll need to sign up. Once you sign up, you have your brokerage account. You have your account. You could start putting money into it from whatever bank account you choose to use. And once you get money in your account, you could start buying things. You check. So this is why I check in. We here now. I show you what is a brokerage account, certain ones that work in here locally in St. Martin and other ones abroad. And now I showing you with your two eyes how to execute a buy, how to execute a trade, let me say. Both, because it's two different things. Here, what I doing, I investing in a company. I buy in shares because I believe in this company. Like I said, this one is one that has paid dividends every month. So I invest in my money in it because I believe in them, but also the added benefit I have with this company is the fact that I will be receiving a percentage back every month based on how much shares I have. Good. Yeah, like I say, if you decide, okay, you know why, you set up yourself, you get your brokerage account set up, you went through the application process, you was approved, you get everything going, and now you have your brokerage account, you have money in it. Like I say, this is what it look like if you want to buy some shares in something. Like I say, I started with $14 with my first investment in not this one, but another ETF that I have shares in right now. But yeah, like I say, it's as simple as I come on this page, they have this section here for you to actually execute, meaning like buy or sell your shares or trade if you want. This platform also has that opportunity, but like I say, I invest in. That's why I'm using this for Robinhood. I'm using Robinhood to invest in. But anyway, so like I say, you come here, you have what you want to do. You want to buy QILD, sell QILD. If I want to sell some of my shares, I could come right here and do it too. But instead of doing buy, I'll have the sell. Because I don't choose this, is why it ain't showing up. But yeah, like I say, if you want to buy some more, because me, I've been buying steady, like every month, even months when I don't buy, it's still buying more because the dividends just reinvesting. And I'm making more than $20 in dividends right now. So technically, this would be like just the same, like as if I ain't invest nothing. So yeah, like I say, you choose whether you want to do in dollars or in shares. You choose your amount. Like I say, you're going to give you an estimate of how much that is. And then you just confirm that you want it done. And it says your market order to buy $20 worth of QILD is queued for market open. Check. And tomorrow, when the market open, I got some more shares. You see, I click done, and now we come back up. So now if I want to sell some shares, like let me say I have a good bit already, and you could sell in tax lots now as a new thing. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. So yeah, if I check in, you know what? I need some money. I have a bunch of shares of QILD. Let me sell a few. Let me sell some. I could come in here and choose. I could choose what I want to sell in dollars or in shares. We say I have 150 something shares right now. So let me say I want to sell 20. If I decide I want to sell in shares, so it tell me 154 shares available and change. So let me say if I say I want to do 20 shares, it can tell me how much is the estimated amount I can get. So because the market price is 18.21, so that's per share, $18.21, and I sell in 20 shares, I can get approximately $364.20. You check? But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Check. So similarly too, same difference. If I decide, I want let me say I need $1,000 and I check in, you know what? I got some money in my portfolio. I could sell some, allocate the fund somewhere else, you use the 1,000 for what I gotta do, and then maybe put it back later, whatever, which that's not recommended. But as when you check in, all of that is an option. You could sell your shares and do your thing, you know. So that there is that. But then now, let me say if you check in, use a trader, you want to trade, and all you focus on is trading. You don't even care about guy investing time. We're gonna restart. Checking it right now. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. See, technology does do what it wants. You lie. No man, I gotta show you that. I gotta open that back and show you. So okay, this open now, but I just want to show you this because another thing come up on my screen, a notification about this thing. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Be here on time, one in time. Okay. What are you telling me then? What are you telling me then? Just get a notification, say, yeah. Okay, yeah. I just get a notification says 211 now. As it says, 212. Yeah. So I just want to show you, man. She going up. Look. Haters gonna always hate now. But we gonna appreciate just like the value of this stock. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so like I say, I wanted to show you how to trade. So for me, I don't trade on trading view, but all of that you could do. So normally my process is I do my analysis here on trading view. You know, I come on here, I check in, I want to see what the stock doing, how the chart looking. So I come on trading view to do my analysis. I use my trend lines and my horizontal lines. That's why this looks so crazy. But I do that so I could see, okay, what is thing doing for me? And then for me, after I do my analysis here, I go to another platform, IC Markets, like how I show you. I did use IC Markets, that's the broker, but then through them, I use MetaTrader 5. So once I come on here, I do my analysis, I go to MT5 and I open up and I put in my trade. You check, I do my execution on MT5. You check, but you can also execute your trades right here in trading view by connecting your broker. And it's easy. So let me say, like I say, you sit down, you watch this video, you see what I show you on how to open your brokerage account. You go, you do your application, you get your brokerage account. You check in, you know what? You want to get into trading, not investing, specifically trading. You know, so like how I show you the heat map last week, I show you charts last week, back to trading view with the charts. Like I say, normally trading view is for analysis, but it's not only for analysis, you also can execute by connecting your broker. You check? So now I'll walk you through the broker integration. So literally once you open it on a computer, it's the same, like on a phone is just as easy, just it probably ain't gonna be in the top right corner. But on the computer, in the top right corner, you have this trade button. So you see it says trade here in the top right corner, right above the chart. You click trade, and then this screen will come up. So now they have paper trading through trading view, of course. So that's when you trade using paper money. You check? So meaning, like, think on like monopoly money. Like, it's like you kind of do it without using your real money to get yourself into the motion. You get yourself understanding how it works and what to look for and how it look, and then when you feel comfortable, then you could start using your real money. So they have paper trading account that you could open, and that one is the easiest. So like you see, immediately I have, as they put 3 million in my account, 3,897,928 to be exact. So let me say I win the lotto, and now I got 3 million in my account, and I check in by, I can use that to trade. That's what my 3 million pot to trade. You check, and I trade in my trading view, and now I could execute orders right here. So similar to what I just say, let me say right now, let me close this down. Let me close it. So let me say right now, Bitcoin, she at 666,340. But it looking like it rallying back up. She come down. She been pushing down for a while, but now she looking like she want to rally back up. So like I say, right now she at 66,285. But let me say, I think it going to go up at least to here, the top of this big red candle, to 73,302. So now I could go in here and trade, and it had this. This is just like the information about your trading account. So your paper trading, they show you like how much money you have in total, and if you do any trades or if you have any open, they're gonna show up here. So that's your positions. That's the trade positions you have open. Your orders would be any, let me say, ones that you had before that, are the history. So you see, look, I've been doing things. I've been using these things. And look, I just want to point out, when I was testing, what would it be nice if it had a date too bad? That'd be nice. But yeah, you see, it tell you what I use, so what chart I was on, Bitcoin, US dollar, me, US Bitcoin guy. It tell you which side I choose, whether you're going to go up or go down, whether you're going to buy or sell, which all of that is a difference between trading and investing. With investing, yes, sell position. Yeah, you making money when the stock go down. Nah, when you investing, only when the stock going up, you making money. Unless you hedging in some other way, like I say, maybe a diversify, so then your whole portfolio is still in the green, even when one thing in the red. Or maybe you do like options and cover calls and different things to like safeguard you. But nonetheless, that's one of the main difference too between trading and investing. The fact that with trading, you're making money even when the stock's going down. You check? Good. But yeah, like I say, whenever this was, because I can't verify, I do some trades using the paper trade, so the fake money account. I do some trades. I ain't gonna lie though, it's some big trades, because if I buy 1,000 at 99,000, and all of that is to show you when I was doing this, because that was when Bitcoin was 99,000, 100,000, 95, 93, 94,000, 97,000, around the 90 range. You check? Anyways, I digress, but still on the same topic. So, like I say, you could do paper trading if you want to just get into it. But now, like I say, if you want to execute a trade, like I say, you have your order page. That's this on the right side. So that come up because I click trade here at the top. So now I could close it. But if I click it, it's gonna come back up. And like I say, I choose in a buy order because I believe it's gonna go up. And right now, that's where the price is at. But now I choose how much units I want to do. So let me say maybe I say 100 shares. Now here I could choose my exits, so I could choose if I want to do a take profit at a certain amount or stop loss at a certain amount. So a stop loss is like where it'll like close the trade if it go too low against me, and a take profit is where it'll close the trade once it reach to my desired profit. So let me say if I want to make $100 in profit and I put a take profit at, let me say, a certain amount, which is $100 worth higher than where it is now, then I'll set my take profit at that price, so that share price, that stock price, however you want to, market price, that's the best term to use. And then it'll automatically close the trade and take the money once it reach and touch that take profit. And like I said, similar to the stop loss. So these is like safeguards so that it won't just blow your money. You check? So bottom line, like I say, it's at 66,243. If I want, I could actually move this too. So let me say if I don't want it to execute now, but I want it to like execute when it reach a certain amount, I could like change that. But yeah, let me say I like where it is, I could just press buy. And now I got order in. If you want, I could leave how it goes. But this here is a trade. I just put in a trade, a limit buy of 100 units. So let me say like 100 shares of Bitcoin US dollar, but it ain't shares, is like, so that's why they say units. And yeah, like I say, now it's just to wait and see what I'm going to do. And bottom line here now at the bottom, as I say, you could see your positions. So now I put in this order. It ain't an open position because the market it ain't execute. It ain't execute yet. Check. I was going to say the market closed, but Bitcoin market don't ever close 24/7. That's one of the reasons that I trade Bitcoin too. Weekends, every day, 24/7, you could make some money in Bitcoin. They could do some too. Check. So you gotta know what you're doing. Trust me. I last probably more than I make right now at this moment. You check, but still, nevertheless, all that's part of it because they don't have a learning curve in the beginning. For me, I say instead of using a paper trading account and just sticking to that, and I say I want to really have skin in the game. If I can like educate myself, I ain't gonna take it serious if I using a paper trading account. So I put real money. I see markets, I put money in it, and I actually start doing real trades. You check? So yeah, I blow 100, I blow next 100, But what? We here. We make money for sure. I make money for sure. Improve my concepts, improve my strategy. So yeah. But anyways, so like I express, that's one. But now, similarly, you could you could connect another broker. That's what we're looking for. So let me say, like I say, maybe you decide you're gonna download IC Markets and do the application for it, or maybe you just use one of these other ones. Binance is one of the use too. You know, you have a lot of good ones, capital.com, Easy Market, Pepperstone, crypto.com exchange. That's another good one too. I was on that when I was in, what you call it, or even you could search, maybe if you check in, you do interactive brokers, you see, and you want to see if you could connect your interactive brokers account with TradingView, you can just search for it. You click interactive brokers, okay, come up saying platinum, but yeah, that's something to look into after. But yeah, you just click connect, you go through the steps to connect your brokerage account, and you do just that. Same for all of them. IC Markets, choose which one, you click connect, you follow the steps, and you're connected. And just like that, once you do that, when you click here, you're going to come up with your broker. And then now, when you do this, you're going to see, like, you're going to execute through your brokerage account. So you're going to do the trade here in trading view, but the money going to be in your brokerage account. You're going to see the, let me say, the money get used or the money increase on your brokerage account. So the execution would just be here, but then the funds and all those things will be managed in your brokerage account. You'll put the funds in your brokerage account and all those things, but you'll just see what's going on here on um, trading view and so on. So that being said, I can wrap up here now because I done overnight already. But you see, this is the thing with these type of things, I just end up doing that. But it is just be too, because I just want to make sure share with you the information. I want to come and leave you hanging, give you half the information and then run just because I want to cut down on my time, you know. Like, I come here for you, think about please for you. So once this information help you in any way, that's what it's all about, you know. So that's why I say I wanted to show you trading view. I wanted to show you setting up these brokerage accounts. I wanted to show you how it is to execute a trade, what it looks like, you know, how it looks to actually buy shares in a company, you know, invest. Because let me say, where the investing is concerned, yeah, it was $20 I invest, but everybody starts somewhere now. Even Warren Buffett, big billionaire, big dog, top dog, even Elon Musk, big trillionaire now. Everybody starts somewhere. Nobody wake up one day as a accredited investor. Nobody ain't just wake up one day as an investor checking like, yeah, they got millions in the bank and nah, it don't work so. They check, drop in the bucket, drop in the bucket. Cause even me, like I say, I started with $14 and change. Now I over a couple grand in that one, and I have others. Check. So yeah, why I want people to learn this, why I share this, why this so important to me, because for me, financial literacy matters, ownership matters, learning about money matters, and especially for us, that we say the Black community, you know, for a long time we did not have access to these things. You know, we were restricted, and our the knowledge sharing was restricted. So now that we are becoming aware of these things and all these topics is more general, and we are able to invest and create ownership and create generational wealth for ourselves and our families, like, I can't help but share it with you. You check? For me, I want you to have a sense of ownership. I want you to feel like, wow, yeah, I own shares in this company, I own this, I own that, not just, yeah, doing this job, I getting paid. Okay, yeah, I own this car, I own this bike, or these different type of things. I own a PlayStation, I own an iPhone. But what do you really have ownership of? Like, you buy those things, but what do you really own? Buying into these things is creating ownership for yourself. Like, you're putting yourself on a different level. Like, literally, you're going from just a regular employee working a job to someone who own someone who have ownership, who have maybe ownership in that same company you're working in. So like I say, a lot of companies, they have like stock buyback programs, whereas once you work in a company, you get a portion of the shares. They purchase a portion of shares for you every month. But they have different scenarios. Long story short, I want to keep our ear here with no long-winded explanation about that. But yeah, like I say, ownership matters, and when you own something, your voice matters. Like, literally, like I mentioned with certain companies, I mentioned it today, but in the past I have mentioned certain companies, when you own even one share, you get voting rights. Like a time I had mentioned, I had buy some Nvidia stock a time. Similar to today, well, with SpaceX, I had some extra buying power um in my portfolio, just some extra money after I had buy my stocks and thing, my ETFs, my QLD and so on. I had some extra money there. So I say, you know what? Let me just throw that in Nvidia, which it went up. I make money. I end up selling them. I sell what I had, which it wasn't a full share, it was a fraction of a share, I think short of a share, like 7.7.8. But even I wasn't even a full share. But around the same time when I buy it was when they had some like board meeting. They was like voting on the board members. Like, I guess the board was changing and so on in the company. And they sent me an email to vote on the board members. Keep in mind, me ain't even know who the hell these people is. Like, of course, the best course of action is to educate yourself. Go check out who the board is now. Check out who's the nominations, and see who looks really suitable for the job. But long story short, I ain't even had one full share, and I get email about voting rights. You check. So this is why I show you, like, this thing here is a lot to it, and like I just share these things because I want the elevation for you. I want that ownership and that literacy for you. And like I say, you don't need to be a millionaire. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to have thousands of dollars. You don't need to know everything. You just need to start. You check? If you don't know about it, you need to start learning about it. You check? Because what? Your first investment is not about making money. The first investment is about changing your mindset, you know, getting yourself in a mental state of, okay, this is what I'm doing with my life now. I ain't just, yeah, I work all month to make a salary and then go spend majority of it, if not all, on bills and whatever other expenses and living, you know, and yeah, just trying to change that mentality from just being a consumer to an actual owner, So literally, like how I talk about Coca-Cola, it's the same thing. You might be a consumer right now, just checking by, yeah, I like Coke, so I can buy Coke, I can keep buying Coke. But from the first day you buy them shares in Coca-Cola, your mindset don't change. You don't check and buy, I own some Coke now. So every time you buy a bottle of Coke, you check it, yeah, I got piece of this company. I own piece of this company. Like it give you like a uplifting feeling, man. You check? Like I say, look, even like how, like, look, like my buy Clem, say, full share, partial share, that's still more shares than people not trading or people talking about how trading isn't good or they're not sure about trading. I'll just say trading and investing. The facts. Full share, partial share, you got something. So even if you check in by the thing you like costs $400, or when you say 100, but checking by that's smart. Let me say if you checking the thing you want to buy is $400 and you maybe only have $100 to invest, or maybe even 40, or maybe even 20, just like me. Do it. Still go for it. Even though it's a percentage, a partial share, you still got some skin in the game now. You still got something. You check, so you're going to see literally your mindset going to shift and you're going to start continually investing and you're going to go back and check on it and you're going to be checking, what? My money gone up? What? My money making money? Like I tell I already on numerous occasions, I think the best feeling that I have now is when I out in the world living life and I get a message or a notification on my phone, just like how we're getting them notifications about SpaceX gone up and thing. Fuck boy, like that. Just curious. Okay, she gone down. No, she gone upstairs. She upstairs. Refresh it. Anyways, just like how I show you like how SpaceX been going and so on, like it has be exciting. Literally, it has be exciting. And on that note, like I talk about it all day, I just want to show you she's still going up. 216. She just hit 216. I was kind of surprised when I see her like hit this pullback. But she's still up. It just, I guess, something going on one. With, yeah, yeah, beautiful. Like I tell you, instead of being like 100 something, I should have invest. It should have been 1,000 something. I invest in it, but still, we glad we in. That's the most important thing. Like I just be saying, whether it's $10, $20, $100, whatever it is, you can invest it because, like I show you once already, my first investment was $14, not even 20. That like you can invest anything. You check and understand. The thing I invested $14 in was more than $14 per share. You check. So think to say like I buy one share or something that was $14 right now. The thing I buy was more than that. So yeah. But yeah, so all of that being said, I just had to like leave you with that kind of closing remarks and reflections. And yeah, so to kind of just finalize, like today we talk about a lot. We talk about the IPOs. Last week I talked about what is an IPO and give a little information about what's to expect, what's to be expected. This week I show how do you actually get started. So my bottom line is don't get discouraged, don't get overwhelmed. I know for some people, some of the things I say or some of the things I show might be kind of complex, but don't feel or don't let it overwhelm you. Just start small. You're curious already, you're already interested, so don't leave this deter you. because yes, it may seem complicated, but honestly, the underlying is very straightforward and simple. Truthfully, like I show you, like literally, once you set up, it's literally just clicking a button, buy, sell, what you feel it is, managing it, meaning like checking on it or putting your safeguards. Yeah. Last thing I'll tell you is keep learning. You know, education is key. And trust me, the market has changed. The market's the beast change it. So don't leave it change and slap you in the face. You check? Oh, that's why, because it went up to 229, almost 230. That's why I checking like why it showing me like this mountain peak, but then it low down here. But yeah, it went up to 229 and then come back down to 213 now. But that to show you like tomorrow, bye. This thing is soaring. So bye. If you don't get in already, maybe you should still try to get in now while you can. Get it while you can. But this thing is going crazy. SpaceX. So yeah, today talk about IPO. Talk about a lot of different things. Talk about SpaceX. You check. Literally, literally about $30 because it was 199 exactly, and they reached 229 and change. So if we want to be, technical, we could kind of say like, yeah, it's 30 cents. But amazing, amazing, amazing. I think I might have to start doing like some more episodes about just showing in the charts and showing how these things are move for real, by because it'll be exciting. For me, that is exciting. I could take for sure. Like watching the charts and watching trading view and seeing how the market's moving. Like it'll be like a battle, like a war you're watching, like a boxing match or so, like red against green, thinking like that old school game with the blue and the red partner that you have to like click the button and then you want to see who going to win. Just trying to box each other. That's how I feel about the market, but it'll be like a war, but they fighting green and red, the bulls fighting the bears, and they're just trying to see who going to win today. You check who going to be stronger today, and maybe today might extend to a week or a couple of weeks, but they just want to see who win in the battle. And that's how the money making now. Just seeing who win in the battle. And once you figure out that, you put your money in that direction. Simple as that. Like I tell you, some people might watch at it like it's complicated, but it's literally like, buy, I like this company and I feel it going to go up. Okay. I going to put a trade in on that, or I going to invest some of my money into that. And yeah, it go up, you make some money. You check. Similarly, like I say, with investing, you don't make money when it's going down, but with trading, even when it's going down, let me say if you watch it and you check and buy, things ain't looking good for that company. Maybe you follow some news or you've been on the company website so you know what happening with the company. Maybe they got some type of scandal going on or something. So you check and buy this stock price high right now, but with what going on right now, she going down. You put in your position and you make money, sell position, you make money even when it's going down. I say that's the difference between trading and investing. You can make money both ways with trading. You check, but bottom line, this is the excitement. This is what it's all about. This is what people love about it. It's like a game, but it ain't a game because it's real life. This is real life you're dealing with. Like this is real companies, real stocks, real like people. So technically it's like a game, but it ain't a game. This is real life. Check. But technically come like a game. It is be exciting, I could tell you for sure. Like when you're seeing how the market's moving and we say you put in your trade and you're checking like bad, she going to go up. And then out of nowhere, she just turn around and you and start going down. You're checking, bad. Oh, what the hell? And you're hoping now like something happened that she just like turn around and continue going back up and going back in your favor. But like I say, when you know the game, when you know what to look for and know what you're looking at, you don't gonna have to panic, you don't gonna have to worry, because let me say you put in your trade, you're gonna know, okay, she gonna always pull back because she always like a steers. Matter of fact, let me pull it back up. Let me just show you. Like literally, she always going to be like a stairs. Like it can always be like up, come down a little bit, go up, come down a little bit, go up, come down a little bit. It can never be just a straight like parabola, like just straight going up, like exponential growth. Like how did I show you the graph of exponential growth? It can never be just a straight line going up. It can always be up, down, up, down, up, down, like a rocky mountain you're trying to climb. And that's what it is. That's how I look at it. Like Mount Everest, we trying to climb here, we trying to get to the top of the mountain. And yeah, you're gonna have setbacks, you're gonna have things to keep you back and try to pull you down, but all of that is part of it. Check. So I guess kind of say lastly, finally, guess why I love it is because I watch this as the game of life. Because it's really a good depiction of exactly how the world of work. Literally, this is showing how what's going on in the world, but it shows like literally how things is ebb and flow in the world, and like how life really is. So, like I said, I just have a very deep fondness for the markets and all of this stuff. Let me just say like that. Check. But yeah, all in all, we cover a lot of ground today. I hope this episode was helpful for you. What I want from you, my people who on or who come on and watch this, that is trade or invest, I want to know what platforms you using. So even you claim you here with us now, before I wrap up, maybe just send a little comment, leaving us know what platforms you does use to do your investing slash trading. But anybody who hearing the sound of my voice wants you a trader slash investor, I want you to leave a comment in the chat, leave a comment somewhere, just leaving us know what platforms do you use for trading. I'm curious to know. Check. So Amazon got a trading platform, like an investing platform. Okay. I check in Amazon. That one catch me. That one slap me across my head. Yourself, bro. Can I check in Amazon? But yeah. For sure, Robinhood. Like why showing that's my go-to. I love my Robinhood, but like I say, they have other ones that I have to use because certain limitations here. But I still on my Robinhood, and she's still working good. We still good in the hood. Okay, good. Yeah. I understand. You're investing in Amazon right now. I understand. I got you. On Robinhood. Cause I check it like Amazon got investing platform now. I gotta look into that. Real talk. I check it like I gotta check out. I gotta really look into that. But anyways, long story short, opportunity means nothing if you don't know how to access it. You could have the knowledge, you could know, okay, yeah, this is how to trade, this is the platform to use, and all these type things. But until you actually go and execute, it's just you don't doing nothing. You don't really saying nothing. You check, like I just say, knowledge is power, but the application of knowledge is where the power truly lies. You check? Because when you start using that knowledge, that's when you start really increasing yourself and really growing and elevating. Good. But yeah, for sure, especially in the market, knowledge does create confidence. When you start to educate yourself on how these things working, how these things operating, what to look for, what's the signs that the people that in it does be looking for. You yourself gonna be checking, oh, that's it. That's what was so complicated for me. Like literally, you yourself gonna be checking like that's why I was so afraid of for so long. Like I telling you, I know a lot of people they just watch these things and checking by that complicated by what the hell is that chart? I can't understand that. But like I tell you from in the financial literacy series, I was there too. Couple years ago, I could have said the same thing. I used to watch the charts checking by. I ain't really understand what going on, especially the time frames. That was something that had confused me deeply. And that's why now whenever I talk about the time frames, I just explain it because I know that's something that had me stumped. But yeah, bottom line, knowledge does create confidence and confidence does create action. So when you feel confident about something, when you feel it's less risky, you're going to go for it, you know? Like a good example, like how I talk about the double dutch, you know, somebody who's afraid to jump in the double dutch skip rope. But now a good example too is somebody who, let me say, they want to jump into the ocean or jump into a pool, but they right on the side, whether it's on the cliff, whether it's just on the side of the pool, they right there now. And they could tell you by yeah, the wave come in, or you know, if they jump in right now, or if they jump in at this angle, it's gonna be the right angle for them to just aerodynamically falling into the water and just going smooth and all these things. They could tell you all of that, but for nothing good, they ain't jumping. You check? A lot of people is like that. A lot of people they check in like bye. They're afraid. They lack the confidence, and because they lack the confidence, they don't execute. You know, but one thing, once you take action, then you're gonna get results. Bottom line. So, like I say, I here trying to encourage you to start with your investing journey and your financial literacy journey. If financial literacy in general is something that you're not familiar with, if you don't know what the best practices for money and the best places to put your money and all these type things, if you don't know these things, financial literacy series all over it podcast is a good start. Or this episode two self is a good start. Your first investment starts here. You check? Episode kind of long, but for good reason. Because what? I come here with value for you. Like I say, a friend of mine tell me, yeah, but you won't telling nobody nothing, Oliver. You don't leaving nobody know nothing. So this is why I come and I share the information. I give you from scratch. So you could go and set up yourself, get yourself set up on a brokerage account so that anytime all of us say, why look, this you're looking like a good investment, you know, it's up to you to execute, to pull that trigger, to jump. You check? Don't just stand and watch and speculate and say, bye, yeah, bye. I could do it now. I'm going to do it now. Do it. Like Nike say, just do it. You check? So, like I tell you, a couple weeks ago, we in our season of execution, and I just want that for you. I want goodness and prosperity for you and your life and your loved ones and people around you. You check? So I just trying to share the wealth, share the knowledge. Just like how I receive it, I sharing it. Check? So that we all could elevate together. Check? So like I say, right now, it's season of execution. I executing. Like I showed you last week. I say I doing something, I execute on what I saying. Good. And like I say, season of execution, I trying for you to do the same thing. Oliver, being a man of his word, doing what he say he going to do, doing what he set out to do intentionally. And I just want the same thing for you. I want you I know a lot of people stress and they worried and they don't know what to do with themselves and they don't know what direction to go in next and all these things. I'm just trying to help you find a direction for your life and bring betterment to your life in whatever aspect, whether mentally, whether financially, whether physically, whatever it is. I'm just trying to bring betterment to your life. So that's what we are all about here. This has been All Over It Podcast, episode 59, entitled Your First Investment Starts Right Here. So I would hope that I get people literally checking, they pull up my episode and open up the brokerage platform side by side, and just like how I talk about these things, they've gone and they do it. You check. Then next week when I come on, I can hear people saying, yeah, Oliver, I open a brokerage account. Bye, yeah. Good. But no matter what, just know we here, we delivering. I come in with value for you always. And like the All Over It Podcast tagline goes, we uncovering it all right here every Monday faithfully. So guess what? Catch me here again next week, Monday, for sure. Coming back to you with some value once again. And just know, I wish you a blessed and prosperous week ahead. And back here again next week with another great episode in store for you. So you stay blessed. Have a blessed week ahead. Remember, be executing with excellence. And I want you to continue to innovate and grow. So stay blessed, my people. Have a blessed week ahead. And I will see you here next week for sure. Same time, same place. Check your boy here next week. Blessings and love. Later.